This week on TechRap, Android Lollipop coming to Mi devices first quarter of 2015. Love Asian films? Maybe you could use the Viddsee app. And our pooled review of the Nokia 830. Hi, I'm Natashya Gutierrez, and this is TechRap. Chinese company Xiaomi continues its aggressive approach in Android, promising an Android Lollipop update to its Mi line of devices by the end of the first quarter of 2015. Xiaomi Vice President Hugo Barra promised the update in an interview with the Next Web. He says, quote, "Upgrading to Lollipop is my #1 priority from a product perspective for our global business. What we're tasked with now is not only all the technical aspects of putting Android 5.0 on our devices, but we also have to marry Google's material design language with ours." Barra also says the update will come to their Redmi line of devices, but there's still no definite timeline for its release. Complaints of bugs, technical issues, and visual glitches by players who purchased Assassin's Creed Unity prompts Ubisoft to issue an apology. CEO of Ubisoft Montreal and Toronto, Yanis Malat, writes in a blog post, "These problems took away from your enjoyment of the game and kept many of you from experiencing the game at its fullest potential. The game experienced frame rate drops in the animation, as well as rendering issues causing characters to only be represented by teeth and eyeballs in cutscenes. Assassin's Creed Unity will release its third patch to address several issues that plagued the game since its release on November 11, 2014. Ubisoft also announced the upcoming downloadable content will be free for everyone that purchased Assassin's Creed Unity for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Tumblr and Pinterest are now the fastest growing social platforms, overtaking Instagram. According to data released by Global Web Index, Tumblr's active users grew by 120% over the last 6 months. Pinterest follows with 111%. Instagram sits at third place with 64% growth, but its owner Facebook grew a measly 2%. Facebook is still king in terms of overall number of users, but other social platforms are catching up fast. Are people getting tired of Facebook? The report suggests that as well, with 50% of users in the US and the UK using it less frequently than they used to. Which social media platforms do you prefer? Let us know in the comments below. If you're into watching Asian films, then Viddsee might be the app for you. Rodneil Quiteles is in Singapore and had a chance to speak with Viddsee's co-founder.
Viddsee started over 2 years ago, and the vision is for short Asian films to have a platform where they can be easily found and viewed. Fast forward to 2014 and the service is now on mobile, with the release of their iOS app in November. Viddsee co-founder Derek Tan talks about the service.
So I think what we want to really build is to surface, the underserved stories from Asia. You hear about platforms like Vimeo, YouTube. They're surfacing great content, but a lot of it is coming from the West. What about our own local stories? What about regional stories?
Viddsee's content manager Nikki Loke says the Viddsee team started out as filmmakers and eventually realized that films needed to be marketed appropriately.
So the platform is really for strong Asian stories, and we liaise with curators who are based all over in Asia who bring the films to us.
The films that we bring in, the baseline has English subtitles, so it meant that we can open up to actually a whole group of audiences out there. So it need not be like, hey, I have to be like Singaporean to watch Singaporean content, but I can actually be an American watching Chinese content from Malaysia, for example, as well.
The team is looking at optimizing the app for the iPad. An Android app is in the pipeline as well.
Microsoft wants to penetrate the mobile market even further with the release of the aggressively priced flagship smartphone, Nokia 830. And since most of us are mostly iOS or Android users, we asked Rapplers to take the phone for a spin and see if it works for them. Rodneil Quiteles returns and tells us what people thought of the device.
The Nokia Lumia 830 is Microsoft's bid to get its flagship Windows smartphone in the hands of more people. At under 19,000 pesos, or roughly around $423, the Nokia 830 is about 30% cheaper than most flagship devices. With a 5-inch display and at 150 grams, the phone felt larger and heavier among iPhone 5s users. But it doesn't take away from the premium feel of the phone. Its vibrant colors, available in orange, green, black, and white, also did not affect how classy the phone feels and looks. The power button, located at the right-hand side of the phone, was a little too easy to accidentally turn off. Nokia has been known to have good cameras on its Lumia devices, and the 830 is no exception. The 10-megapixel shooter takes crisp photos, not outstanding shots, but good enough as your daily point-and-shoot partner. The video was a pleasant surprise. One of our social media producers note the videos are very clean and clear, while its 3 mics records good audio. But she found it annoying how she had to leave the camera app and go to the gallery to view shots she just took. The biggest drawback on the Windows Phone is its operating system. Microsoft is still trying to veer away from the look and feel of the iOS and Android user interface, insisting on its use of tiles. Many of us who tried the phone thought it was hard to navigate and customize, and resorted to a lot of guesswork as to which buttons did what. It is also worth noting that although Microsoft is working with developers to add more apps, the Windows Store can't compare to the Apple App Store and Google Play. That said, software offers a lot of other nifty features. The Dolby Sound and Xbox capabilities are very impressive and contributes to the 830's flagship status. The double tap to wake, vibrating alerts, and WordFlow keyboard are all handy features. But if you're really not into the live tile experience, then this phone might turn you off a little bit. Overall, the Nokia Lumia 830 is a solid flagship device that is competitively priced and something you might want to look at if you want something different from iPhones and Androids out there. Rodneil Quiteles for TechRap.
And that was TechRap. Follow Rappler on social media, join the conversation online, send us emails. The search for the next TechRap anchor is still on. Keep sending in your entries. If you haven't yet, subscribe to Rappler's YouTube channel. That's all for this week, folks. I'm Natashya Gutierrez. Thanks for dropping by.